on the Pro Tour in a very short spell, the special one.
25.
Dobey looking
Chris
for
has
his
won the ball.
first PDC title, but also
Chris to throw
looking to book
first.
his place in Blackpool for the World Match Play. He is in the mix after a string of fine performances today, after a string of dramatic duels
140
this afternoon, and the semi-finals were both very dramatic. Both went down to last leg deciders. Value for money today on PDC TV. And Paul Nicholson, I know you're expecting this one to go the distance.
134.
I absolutely do think this is going to go the distance. I can't envisage one of these players dominating this match. I think there are going to be spells. It could well be like the Newton's Cradle, it goes backwards and forwards. And for everybody tuning in on PDC TV today, I really hope that is the case. Unless, of course, you are a huge Jose fan or a huge Dobey fan.
140.
You might want it to be one-sided. But for Chris Dobey, this is a huge match. Yes, he's in the mix for the match play now, but boy, would his chances of getting to Blackpool
57
be bolstered if he wins this game.
Well, let's make it clear, if he does win this game, he will move into a provisional
60
match place, leapfrogging Jermaine Watermaner, who currently occupies the last spot. A Hollywood start.
75, yeah.
Staying up top.
135
was better than going to an open 57. However, it's Bull for a 167. Oh, that was close.
142.
Dobey's been warned.
Well, that sheds of the end of the semi-final with Ryan Searle. More on that in a moment, but Dobey looks to deliver
Game
a dart
shot
in his favourite double and survives the scare. But yes, that semi-final against Searle, who was punished to the hilt for missing 3 match darts. De Sousa stepping to the hockey and taking out 134 before going on to take out 107 in the very next leg to win the match and come back from 3 legs behind to do so for the 2nd time in a row in an important game against Ryan Searle.
Yeah, the only way to get 107, of course, with the small 7 first. It wasn't intentional.
Well, of course, had he gone the other route and missed like that, he wouldn't have had a finish, would he? So maybe there was some smart thinking from
96
on that occasion. And he has been using the 19 segment a lot today.
You tend to see players do that when their arm gets a bit tired. I don't think you're going to see that from Dobey, who, in his semi-final
58
with Mike Kyvenhoven, bashed in 7 maximums. He almost doubled his tally for the day in that one match.
Yeah.
45
Huge tally of maximums. De Sousa-esque from Dobey this afternoon, those 17. Is he going to add to that?
180
Way aye. It's the only thing to say right there. Chris Dobey really, really wants this victory. It's not about the match play. It's about getting that first ranking title. He's been close before. He wants to join Callan Ridds. He wants to join Ryan Joyce. He might be getting a little bit of shtick from them, but he won't be if he can get the job done.
Don't leave yourself out, Paul. Northeast Dart Stars to win PDC titles.
I was just talking about the people who are giving him stick right now. Oh, that's a big miss from De Sousa because Dobey's back, like you say, Murph, at his favourite double. He's been absolutely pinpoint down here.
Game
shot. Again Ryan Joyce, who we mentioned just now, won at the Summer Series this time last year to get in the match play. It was a very well-timed victory. Callan Ridds, who won earlier this year. There haven't been many Northumbrian or Geordie winners of Players' Championships. I'm very proud that I've won 4 of them.
58.
But Dobey has had the ideal start, and he looks in such good nick.
Yep, and as you mentioned,
57.
He has been to the final of PDC events on 4 occasions before this one. One of them, in fact, at the Danish Open in 2019. He beat Jose de Sousa in the quarterfinals of that event. Went on to reach the final, lost out to Dave Chindle, but that run and beating de Sousa en route was the reason that he got to the World Match Play that year. It's the only time he's appeared in that event.
And how much did he win in that final to get to the match play, it was £10,000.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what is on offer for the winner of this event.
171.
As good as the max. De Sousa there, but Dobey once again is just a little bit in front of him. Started brighter.
134.
Match 57 is getting an absolute hammering. If you can get this kind of start against the very, very dangerous De Sousa,
59.
you can't pass it up. He could be on double 16 again. Single 20. Double 16 again. Like I said,
38.
offers De Sousa a shot at 136. Options here. Well, when you hit that treble 20 with the regularity that Jose does, he was never going to go for 16s
96.
first. But this is for 3-0. With just the one hold of, well, the one break and
Game
throw.
shot.
I just had to throw that caveat in there because I don't want that scoreline to flatter Chris right now. It's first to 8, but he's got the start he craved.
Well, it's a flying start. There you see both players averaging in 3 figures.
96.
Dobey some 5 points ahead of De Sousa in that department and 3 legs ahead in the department that matters.
43.
He is grafting right now. You can tell from his facial expressions how much he wants this. He's had his heart broken before in finals.
140.
Is it possible, Murph, that when Dobey does find that first title, it opens up a can of worms like it did for Joe Cullen, maybe?
93.
Quite possibly. He's been a long time between final appearances, particularly on the floor. 3 years now since he reached the final of the Players' Championship event before today. Lost that one to Christoph
180.
Ratajski, having lost to MVG earlier in 2018 in a final in which he averaged around 110.
Yeah, there's been a lot made
134.
of that final appearance. You think, what's he got to do to win the title?
What a leg this is from his opponent, who just refuses to be dead and buried in any
shot.
game of darts. 11 dart response, just reminding Dobey that you can't win these finals easily, as if he didn't already know that.
Well, from the finals that I appeared in,
96.
the only easy ones were for the people that beat me. I remember losing 6-1 in a final to Simon Whitlock, and there was only one player in that final. He was way better than me.
85.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Dobey having played and lost 4 finals, but then you look at, for example, that performance against Van Gerwen, and it's not like he's suffered from stage fright. Not like the big
54.
occasions got to him. It just hasn't happened for him.
Correct. And like I said in the semi-final, Chris, he's averaging around 97 for the season.
99.
He was one of those players who was averaging brilliantly, consistently, and not picking up enough wins. You can't continue to do that and not get runs like this. He's constantly knocked on the door, and
140.
today he's hammered it open.
Yeah, it's been a superb run from Chris Dobey
100.
this afternoon to put himself in this position. Wins against the likes of Luke Humphries, Johnny Clayton, Stephen Bunting, yesterday's champion, of course. 3 of his
100.
matches en route have gone to last leg deciders.
He really has grafted against some amazing opponents today, hasn't he? And if he does take the title, that is a list of players
140.
to remember. 111 for 4-1 to re-establish that 3-leg cushion. Double 16 on
95.
this occasion. He needs an error from De Sousa on his throw.
58 left, yeah.
De Sousa checking wisely. Tops to break.
37.
A little clip of the wire, but it's on the wrong side.
Could be a pivotal point of this final.
Game
He'll
shot.
be off the hook. And then pins a double 8 to make sure that he keeps his advantage.
You and I have seen Chris Dobey play at World Championships, and World Grand Prix,
96.
things like that. And he has levels. He's got a great floor game, as we know. He's really good at staying tempered. But he can also mix it with the best when it
95.
comes to animation. I'll go back to a game he had with Ron Meulenkamp where he refused to be beaten. He has got a lot of chutzpah in that gut of his.
180.
He's going to need to really massage that against Sousa. At this part of the game, the middle part, if he can dominate this part, he could give himself an unassailable advantage.
100.
Arguably the informed player in World Darts right now, De Sousa, so he is mixing it with the best. He was the #1 seed for this tournament, the Portuguese.
180.
He's demonstrating why here, back-to-back maximums.
Doesn't really matter what Chris does here. But he does the right thing anyway.
139.
That's professional behaviour. Could it be another 11 darter? That's exactly
Game
what
shot.
you get. That was never really in doubt. But he is 2 behind.
Well, that's twice when it's looked like Dobey's pulling away after he's capitalised on missed doubles from De Sousa. He's hit back
97.
with an 11 dart leg. A leg that took his average up to 110. Maybe it is Dobey's turn to defy such a level of performance and win the title today. And it should be pointed out that he is playing against a man that he's got a
140.
perfect record against. 3 times they've met and 3 times Chris Dobey has won.
Yeah, I looked at that before this game began and your eyes lit up really
58.
for Chris Dobey, thinking maybe this is the right opponent for him. I know that playing De Sousa right now is probably never the right time. But if you've never lost
100.
against someone, you automatically get that extra % of belief.
Yeah, and this is a man who's got a very good record in PDC finals, hasn't he, Jose De Sousa? Already won
43.
7 PDC titles.
Don't forget, he loves Coventry. This is where he won the Grand Slam. If he keeps winning here,
180.
he keeps hitting 180s like that, they might rename it one day the Jose De Sousa Arena. Needs another.
133.
And De Sousa is really starting to find the accelerator. He's going to go the bull route. It's double 13 after the treble.
Game
And he
shot.
takes a 12 darter. And this one has changed purely because of the brilliance of the Portuguese captain. Was
100.
given a shot at the World Cup last year, and I don't know whether you remember Murph, Jose Marquez, who he played with, decent player. They could be
57.
a bit of an outside one for getting to the latter stages of the World Cup this year, because when you got this guy in your corner, anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
134.
This is already his 10th floor final. Jose De Sousa won 5 of the previous 9. Of course, also won a couple on the stage.
180.
Well, now it's Dobey being defiant in the decider.
Oh, this one's making me short of breath. I feel like I'm holding my breath
100.
the whole game. Dobey might be able to go into a bit of a faster mode shortly to try and alleviate any sort of final nerves.
94.
Having that little extra pace, it might be needed, because De Sousa's looking at a 167 again for the second time.
142.
Had a dart at the ball for it in the first leg, hit the 25. Had a dart to level up in the 8th leg, hit the 25. On 170, Dobey can't get a dart at the ball, not to win the
105.
leg at least.
You get the feeling if Dobey's going to get another leg at this point of the match, he's going to need maybe a 9-darter.
Game
It's
shot.
4-4, and this one is very, very tight. The middle portion of this game has been owned by the Portuguese player. Dobey has been reeled in.
Has had 1 9-darter in PDC darts. Chris Dobey.
134.
By the way, it came in a last leg decider.
Against Dave Prinz. He won the last 3 legs, didn't he? He was 5-3 down, and he won the match with a 9.
Remarkable. Well, this is
59.
a an astonishing final in terms of standard. It looked as if, at times in that semi-final between Ryan Searle and De Sousa, that De Sousa wasn't going to produce this kind of level of performance
100.
today. But he's brought his A game to the final. There's no doubt about that.
There's one thing going through my mind right now, and I've been in finals. Tons aren't enough
140.
in this final. And trust me, when you're under this pressure, you love tons. But right now, they can't afford just tons. They need more.
89.
I wouldn't say that's an error with De Sousa's position on 302 and he's gone 20s first. That's a dream scenario for Dobey
59.
to see him going 20s first on 302 because he's given 6 darts from 178.
It is a weakness in his game. We all know that, Jose De Sousa, but it will come to cost him at times. And perhaps at times when he looks at his average at the end of the match and it's 110 and he's lost, and I wonder how, and it is situations like that that will be a contributing factor. Another contributing factor will be the quality of his opponent, and Chris Dobey
Game shot.
is producing some delightful darts today.
You're talking about 2 of the nicest guys on the circuit as well. I've been very fortunate to get to know them both. More so Chris,
69.
because I spent time with his dad when I was growing up, learning just how good the darting DNA is in that family. Not just his dad Gordon, but his uncle Arthur.
134.
Incredible dart players. I wonder what young Cole, his young lad, will be able to do in maybe 15, 20 years' time.
140.
I guarantee you right now, up against the special one, there are a lot of people in Bedlington and the Ashington area of Northumberland biting their nails, hoping that he's going to get this done.
I'm sure there are
96.
viewers in Portugal and Spain where Jose De Sousa lives that are cheering on the other runner in this 2-horse race.
I think this is a great one for the
97.
neutrals, because you've got 2 of the nicest guys, like I said. There'll be no animosity, whatever happens. But Dobey, if he wants to get a 2-leg gap
100.
once again, he's going to need this.
Oh, it was so close
145.
to being a blockbuster from Hollywood. But De Sousa has the chance to level up.
Level
Game
up,
shot.
level up, level up. You've all seen it on social media, the little Reels or TikTok clip that says that. Well, it's all level at 5 apiece.
96.
Chris Dobey, I mean, he's done nothing wrong there, has he? But having given himself the chance, he has to just forget about that now.
180.
Huge opportunity, but look what happened after. 5 perfect darts followed, including a 5th maximum and a superb 96
50.
checkout from De Sousa.
Sometimes it's like playing darts against a Terminator. You almost feel like you need 4 darts against De Sousa.
140.
I would like him playing darts against him in his full pomp. He's trying to carve down a tree with a banana. He's working so hard. He's done
58.
so much right in this final. And he's never been behind. But the fact of the matter is, he's about to go behind.
Chris Dobey may be the case that once again the
137.
fruits of his labour do not result in a title at the end of the day. Will it be the 5th final failure
100.
Chris Dobey as De Sousa once again lines up a possible 11 darter? Would have been his 3rd of the match. He'll be happy with a dozen. He can go out in 15 if he wants, but it is a 12. It is 6-5, and now he is holding all the aces.
Yeah, he has the better hand. That break of throw in 12 is typical behaviour from him. He just has the knack of either dominating someone in a final or
57.
going really deep in the well to just get enough chances. He was in so much trouble at 4-1 down. Dobey was the better player, but he's reeled him in with pure brilliance.
140.
Now we need Dobey to do the same to Sousa because time is disappearing.
Well, that little passage might have come at an okay time for Chris Dobey. Had it been
135.
a leg later when he missed the 170 and then Sousa hit a purple patch, he might have been curtains. But just before this leg, you may have noticed he took a big deep breath. He's kicked off with
140.
back-to-back 140s. He's kind of pressed the reset button here, Chris. And it's a different final now for him. First time he's been behind. The pressure, in a
58.
way, might be off a little bit.
He's got the darts back. He can't afford to stop with these 140 hits. Okay, if you're going to stop, you might as well get a 180 in that spot. It's his turn to set up an 11 darter. Could be a huge leg to get his throw back and to maybe be favoured
100.
again.
Took his 180 tally to 20 for the day. Double 16 has been a good friend to him.
33.
He hasn't found it. He hasn't found the double 8. Well, Sousa took out 152 in a spot like this in the semi-final.
I knew you were going to say that. And he's short on the 51.
94.
Not quite sure what the last dart was about. But it's all about this one. Now this one. Double 2. This is such a difficult shot. But it's not
Game shot.
impossible, and the first time he vocalises in this final is right there. Look at this. He wants it, and he's summoning up something from his gut. It's now best of 3.
It's a break back.
100.
It's a break back, which gets control back for Chris Dobey in this final. And you have to hand it to him. A man who's been to 4 finals, lost them all. He's turned up again, hasn't he?
96.
If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And he probably will be thinking, what on earth do I have to do to win one of these finals? Even in this match, he's averaging 3 figures. He missed the bullseye for a
93.
170 that would have perhaps put the game beyond Jose de Sousa. Found himself behind, but he's a battler.
He's never folded. You look at some of the other performances
55.
on great days where he's played. I look back at tournaments and series we've had over the last 18 months. He's gone up against the likes of MVG in quarterfinals. He's put in huge averages,
83.
but has lost to the better player. It's not that he has choked at the end. It's just that sometimes, more often than not, those players have the answer against him.
100.
The finals is lost. Simon Whitlock in 2016 is first. That was during a spell when the Wizard picked up 5 titles in 6 months. Michael van Gerwen, the one we've mentioned. Christoph Ratajski in 2018, again, a player
105.
who was in fine form then. And then Dave Chisnell in a European Tour event. No shame in any of that.
Not at all. What can de Sousa leave? He's got 77.
128.
That's really good. But it's Dobey first to the board. 60 needed. The dart was
60.
good. 4 18s in bull. Or 6 for double 7. He gets the 6.
40. Yep.
He's checking. And he's got good information. And a
Game
massive check out for 7-6. Dobey's heart shatters. Because now de Sousa can throw for the title.
After both darts, 1 and 2, Jose de Sousa had to ask the match official what he'd scored, what he had left. That must have felt like an eternity for Chris Dobey
100.
standing behind him as he landed that hammer blow. It's up there with the 152 against Searle in the semi-final.
60.
When he needs a big shot, so often he gets it, this man.
It's a 1-2-2, but like you say, it looks better because it's 2 trebles and a double.
60.
It is tantamount to that 152. It's a very similar shot, actually. 2 up north, 1 down in the bottom left. And you see here, Dobey is wounded.
Yeah, as that finally
57.
broken his spirit.
If he doesn't get himself off the floor somehow and get through this, he's going to have to come back in the next 48 hours and summon up immense courage to try and nick a spot. But he's not out of it yet. He's got to get a 140, got to get in touch.
100.
I don't think that's enough. He needs errors from JDS that aren't coming.
96.
And he's 105 away. We've already mentioned that he took it 107 to win the semi-final.
It would almost be a
100.
mirror image of what happened at the end of that match. Back-to-back ton plus finishers. Well, it's still on. Double 18 to win it.
87.
Well, that's just about the worst dart he's thrown all day.
I'd have to agree. Chris has to believe that this isn't over yet. He's done brilliantly.
140.
It's only 44, but it is de Sousa for the win.
Well, I think
No
he
score.
thought that the second one was in there. He can't believe it. Checking again, looking at the referee. I'm certain he thought that was in because he sort of almost celebrated. But match darts have been missed.
To take us all the way. It's
Game
a
shot.
huge double 8, and what an opportunity he was given there. I said it might not be over. Well, it isn't now because Dobey now has the chance to serve it out. Well, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and double 9 has come to the aid of Dobey. And look at this.
137.
The misses on the green portion of that double 9. That was the rub of the green that Chris Dobey needed. I'm certain that de Sousa thought the second
100.
dart was in. And
It was
might
casting a shadow, wasn't it?
have, and it might have just affected his third dart. One he didn't think he had to throw. He's still gesticulating to the invisible man.
68.
Oh, that one was a little bit nervy. But he's still got 105 in the bank. It's going to be extinguished. And this is where he needs
134.
something of assurance. It's got to stay up top. And that's a
100.
Herculean ton, really, under this pressure.
Well,
97.
it could have cost him going downstairs first there. Found the treble. And then knew to stay at the 20 after that.
He craves the 140. And he gets it.
140.
But it's 170, a shot he's hit on this board today for the title. To end the day with the biggest check out of the lot.
140.
And it's another mismatched dart, and Dobey is on the cusp of his own history.
What was he thinking then? I'm sure he was thinking it was going in, but he has the chance. A dart in his hand,
16.
but it's 2 missed at tops. And de Sousa having mismatched darts in the previous leg and now 1 at the bull will get the opportunity to pick up a 4th title of the year on double 15. Well, this is remarkable. Absolutely incredible.
This is what you crave when you wake up in the morning. 3 darts at a double, like tops or double 16 for the title. What can you do? Can you win it? Yes,
Game
you
shot
can.
and the match.
Chris Dobey finally gets his first PDC ranking title, and he's now in a spot for the World Match Play as well. He got a slice of luck, Chris Murphy, but after everything he's been through over the last 4 or 5 years, after all of the near misses, he's finally gone and done it. Chris Dobey, you are a winner.